Well, hello out there. Hi, Women in Film Dallas, and whoever else might be joining us to watch us today on our fifth episode of Just Saying.
Just saying.
Hi, Gail.
Hi, Tiffany. You have glasses on today.
I do have glasses on today because I forgot we were going to be on camera and I forgot to put my contacts in.
I can put glasses on too.
Yes.
Would you feel better?
Let's do it.
Except they're reading glasses, so I have to do this.
You're such a team player, man. I love that about you, Gail.
I'll put them up here.
So, it's hot out there.
102 on my thermometer yesterday.
Triple digits, man. It's Texas. It's hot. It's the lazy dog days of summer.
Mm-hmm.
But we have still managed to have some fun, haven't we, in July?
We have. Great July.
We have had some wonderful women's workups. The last one that we had, we also had the Topaz Film Committee. The
meeting,
entire the entire group was there, and that was super exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And then we added a new thing on our plate this month, and it was mainly driven by one super important factor. We went back to doing the birthdays. Once a month we'd get together and celebrate everybody's birthdays. It's something we've done in the past. And we wanted to do a mixer, get some folks in. And we picked a really fabulous place.
Yes, it was.
Thunderbird Station, owned by Kimmy Finch, who also owns the double wide and the single wide. You talk about a nightclub entrepreneur, female, just owning it in Dallas. She is a perfect example, and we want to thank her for that. But we had our birthday mixer for all of the July birthdays, and it just so happened to be on my birthday. That's right. I didn't want to have my birthday by myself, so I thought I would share it with all of you and anyone else who had a birthday in July.
And it was great fun.
It was a lot of fun. I think it was like the
beautiful night.
biggest turnout I think we've had for a women in film activity.
And the coming back road.
Yes. We really miss you guys so much. We want to see more of you. If you want to leave in the comments too of things that you would like for us to do in the future, we'd be totally down for that, and we will make that happen. Or if you guys really are like, hey, there's a D strain out there, maybe we want to go back to doing some, maybe we want to go back to doing some educational things on Zoom, let us know. But we need to hear from you, please, because we want this organization to be very strong and be here for you, and we want to be able to show up for you, and we need to know how. So let us know. So what else is up? We are going to have a wonderful interview today.
Yes.
So excited. Thank you for bringing Nikki to our attention.
Dixon, yes.
Yes.
I've known Nikki for quite a while. We're both members of the SAG-AFTRA local board. So I've served with her, worked on events with her, and we've actually been in the same movie together. Never had time on set with her, but I've known her for a while, and she's fantastic.
I don't know that I'd ever be on set with Gail in a film, although I think it would be a fantastic idea, and that's why I made her do the podcast. It's as close as I can get to being on camera with Gail, the Gail Cronauer. Yeah. So, but this is fun. We have a good time. We like doing this for you guys, and we can't wait to introduce you to Nikki coming up next. And we're back. And we have our fabulous guest with us that is it's just so lovely and beautiful, and those bright red lips and all the things. We're going to make her talk with those bright red lips. That's what we're going to do. Yeah. So welcome, Nikki. Welcome to Just Saying.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
It's great to have you here.
Thank you. And Just Saying.
Yes.
There, she's in. She's got it.
So what are we going to say?
Okay.
Words.
Whoa.
Words that go in a row and then create sentences. And we all have something in common.
What's that?
Women in Film Dallas.
Women in Film Dallas.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
And we found you, and you have quite a story to tell. So we are interested to find out about who you are.
Who I am.
What makes you tick?
What makes me tick?
Well, I'm just going to start because I've known Nikki for a while. I found out some things about her I didn't know when I went to her IMDb page. So I want you all to go to Nikki, spell it for us.
Nikki. Dixon, Dixon.
There you go. So go to
Yes.
Nikki Dixon's IMDb page and check out her fantastic videos. We'll talk about that. And her resume. But I found this. In 2012, now I know that's years ago, but it's been updated.
Yes.
In 2012, Texas Stargazer, I have no idea what that is, said 25 beautiful Texas actresses on the rise.
Oh.
And Nikki was
Yep.
one of them.
Well, I should have risen
Looking
by then.
fantastic.
2012. I should have been risen.
But it's been
You're risen in our
updated.
eyes.
Yeah.
So there are
Thank
all these great credits from Queen of the South and Claus and the Golden Voices. So it's great. So I just thought that was a great way to start.
Oh,
So I wanted to
thank
introduce
you.
it that way. But then, as I was saying to Nikki before, people want to know how you got started, how you got to where you are now. So let's start with that.
Oh gosh. Of course I did the obligatory church plays and all that kind of stuff, when I was little, but I went to college because my mom was like, okay, you need to go to school.
Yeah.
I know you want to do this
Go,
acting
Mom.
thing.
Way to support
Boo,
your
Mom.
kids. Mhm.
But she was like, you need a backup plan. So I was sitting in a psychology class, right? So I'm sitting here and I'm in class and I'm listening. And I'm like, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life.
Although I
was
do
like-
think that every psychologist should have to take an acting class.
I agree, but you can use psychology in acting. So you can use that for your
Yeah.
characters
Totally.
and
Totally.
character development and just even how you deal with people. So I mean, it was helpful,
Yeah.
but that's not what I wanted to get my degree in.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I don't want to listen to people's problems all day. I just want to. I want to like
That is
show what kind of
allowed.
problems they have on screen.
Yes.
So then I went down to Katie's studio and I signed up for actually just a workshop. I didn't do the full program.
So this is KD. It's here in
Actors,
Dallas.
yep, KD Actors Conservatory,
Mm-hmm.
and I signed up for a commercial class, and my
Mhm.
first instructor was Yvette Stone, who ended up
was-
being my very first agent.
She was my agent
Nice.
once too. Yeah.
Yeah, so rest in
Mhm.
peace, Yvette.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was my first agent, and then from there, I started in commercials and did some regional commercials, national commercials, and then quickly just transitioned into film and TV.
Right.
And here I am, filming and
And you grew up in Dallas, right?
I did.
Tell
I
us
grew
about
up-
early childhood besides the church stuff, which is awesome. What was your favorite
Yeah.
role you played before you got into acting when you were little?
Oh gosh, I mean, Mary. You know?
got to play
I
Mary.
mean, yeah, in the church plays.
That's awesome.
I got to have the birth of Jesus. I
Yes, how do
I
you-
was Jesus' mom.
Anybody want to top that? I dare you.
I was
That's
Jesus'
you
mom.
get top billing for
Yeah,
that. I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I was definitely number 1 on the call list.
Now your resume also talks about you being athletic. So did you play sports?
I did. I played basketball. I played volleyball. I ran track. I still
Whoa.
actually teach aerobics. So I teach
This is
fitness classes.
great.
Oh, I love that that's an aerobics class because
Yeah.
I started off with aerobics
Uh-huh.
and then all these Pilates and then the other
Yeah.
things and then yoga and then
Yep.
I'm like, can we all just get along with
Doing
aerobics?
That's what, yeah.
Yeah.
So I do like cardio kickboxing. I do
Oh, cool.
strength conditioning classes, and I run. Like I love to run. I wish I loved to run more in school because I might have gone to school on a scholarship. But now, like I'm like Forrest Gump, and I'll just
Run
keep
forever.
running.
So
She was
Run,
running.
Nikki, run.
Yeah.
So all of these athletic things you do, have they helped you as an actor? Have they come into play?
I
mean, I saw you like go like this, like a
yes,
badass.
I did.
Yep.
And Queen of the South, it does
Yeah.
help with stunts. Like
Yeah.
they're like, oh, I'll get you a stunt double. I was like, no, let me do that myself. I can run. I can run through the woods.
Cool.
You don't
Yeah.
have to get somebody else, pay somebody extra to
Yeah.
run. I was tackled, which was kind of cool too. So yeah, I mean, I think it helps, with, just overall things like that, stunts. And then also you want to look good on camera too, right?
you do wanna look good on camera.
Right? I mean, you kind of do. So
Now smile, Tiffany. please.
I mean, you look good. You
She's
look
got her
good
glasses
you look
on this
good
weekend.
all the
I know. I don't
time.
even.
Yeah.
Last
Yeah.
minute. You know what? It's funny. I always walk out the door in the morning and I think, God, I'm going to be on camera today. Dang it! I didn't wear black. I wore. My mom's going to
Sorry,
be
Mom.
really disappointed, but here we are.
Yeah, so-
Oh, God.
And it helps you just you just feel better about yourself in
Yeah.
general, just working out, and just trying to stay in all that kind
Now, all this TV work that you've done, because these are some big TV shows that you've been on. So were they all here in the Texas, Dallas area? Did you go to like New Orleans or Atlanta or whatever?
All of that. I went to New Orleans. I went to Atlanta. I went to New Mexico, which is a union state, which is where I got my SAG card.
Yay.
Yeah. So doing
Screen Actors Guild. This is the Professional Actors Screen Actors Union. Yeah.
Yes. So I got that. I did a show called Night Shift, and then I went back and did Longmire, which is when they were like, "Hey, come on, join the party. Come on over to SAG-AFTRA."
Yeah.
And there you
Was
have
that hard for you to make that decision to do?
At that very moment, no, it was not.
Right.
I got the call from my agent. She was like, "You are a must join. You have to join, or you can't do this role."
That's right. Mm-hmm.
She's like, "You have your, do you want to do it?" I was like, "Yeah, of course I want to do it."
Kind of grow up and.
I mean, that's the thing, not to knock non-union work and stuff like that, but that's the goal. That's our goal,
right.
is to be part of SAG-AFTRA, and to say, "Oh, I'm eligible to join." Well, you're still non-union.
Right.
So you're still not, not saying, you're not part of the cool kids yet. Yeah. But, you can cut that out. So,
So I guess you weren't a cheerleader in school.
No, I was on the color guard. I carried a rifle.
We were off.
Oh, that's interesting. That's one of the things I never knew about you, and now I know.
Awesome. Oh, so a few moments ago we were talking about SAG-AFTRA, and I know from our work together on the SAG board here in Dallas that you've been involved with something called the Next Generation, and I want you to talk a little bit about that. What that is.
So basically, it's just the next generation of actors that are coming up in the industry. We're trying to bring more activity in from the younger crowd, because everybody is evolving out, and so we just want to just train up the new round of leaders. And so last year at convention, the Next Generation committee was formed, and I was appointed as a co-chair.
Hey.
So
yes,
I am co-chair with Sarah Seeds, who's out of the New York local, and the president is Ben Whitehair in LA.
So what advice do you have for an up and coming, for one of these candidates that may want to be a part of your program?
Well, the committee is selected, but in each local, you can have your own committee. And so I just suggest each local have their own next gen kind of subcommittee, and just reach out to the membership and just say, "Hey, come in, listen to the board meetings." What people don't understand is you can sit in on a board meeting and just sit and listen and learn. Come out to the membership meetings. What they've done in certain locals prior to COVID.
Womp womp.
Right. They would actually have like some sort just socials where, you would go out and you would go bowling, or you would just do different
networking
things to
type stuff.
And to meet one another, and just to talk about just different projects and networking. And
I think that's good too, because I think a lot of people hear those words and they get a little intimidated.
What words?
SAG-AFTRA.
Oh, you think?
Oh yeah. From my experience, like when I was growing up and in high school, it was like, I'll never get there.
Oh, that way.
That's a million miles away.
That's for movie stars.
Yes. And my mother said, you're not allowed to be movie starism,
Yeah.
But so, what is the path to get to SAG-AFTRA for young people out there?
Well, it's honestly not hard. You get 3 background vouchers on SAG-AFTRA projects, and you could join, but I wouldn't say that that's the best path to go.
Right.
Because you put yourself in a space where you are competing with true professionals. So I can see how it could be a bit intimidating. You just have to have the resume and just be ready. You'll know when you're ready to join the union, when you can compete with just the professionals. And I know there are a lot of people in Texas right now who can totally compete in that market, and they just haven't made that leap because we are in a right to work for less state.
Can we
Right.
talk about something else that I saw on your resume?
Sure.
And that is you've worked, oh my goodness, in commercials and radio and television and film and internet. But now you're also writing. And this is kind of connected to your next generation stuff. So what are you writing? How did you get into writing? What is that like?
I actually wrote my first feature-length screenplay almost 10 years ago.
Wow. And was it prompted? Like, did you have any knowledge of what you were doing, or did you start with an idea and go with it?
Started with an idea and went.
Wow.
I went and I researched screenwriting softwares, found Final Draft,
Nice.
and bought Final Draft and just got to going. And then it was a lot of fun, like just creating these characters and these stories. And so it's totally sitting on my hard drive.
I was going to say, where is that chilling now?
It's chilling on my hard drive.
And what is the subject matter of your feature film?
Wow. Okay, so my first one.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Her first one.
My first one.
How many in are we now?
I have 2 features. I have a pilot and and then I have several other ideas. But
Cool. That's
Ideas,
fantastic.
lady. Love it.
I know.
For
I
you to
know.
act in, for you to direct?
Oh, absolutely
For you to
act in. Like,
Yeah.
I might have aged myself out of
Some
one
of your
them.
roles.
Yeah.
That you
So,
wrote for yourself.
Doesn't that suck? Yeah. So
Subject matter. Let's get
Yeah.
back to that.
Well, one of them, and I changed the name of it so many times. Basically, it's about a woman who's engaged to a professional basketball player, and she's with him. She loves him. He's been cheating on her forever. She knows
Right.
about it.
Right.
She finds a guy, and she kind of has a little thing with him, and then it just. He
Unwinds
finds out
from
about
there.
it, and then how did they, did they get married? Did they not?
Now, have you ever dated a professional basketball player?
I have.
I love it.
I
Dallas
have.
Maverick.
It's a little warm in here.
Oh, you are
Just
blushing.
get a little
Your
warm
cheeks
here.
are about as red as those lips are, girl.
Next subject.
Yes, and then the next film.
Yeah, the next film is actually called Mindset of a Mistress. That's my favorite one. So it's about 2 women who decided that they wanted to live their lives as mistresses.
Yeah.
Not to one another, but to other men, to men.
Yeah.
They want to be the other woman forever.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Ah,
I
that's
know.
interesting.
Mhm.
There is a moral to that story.
Okay.
So it's not, they're not just all willy-nilly out here and just,
Do they win in the end?
they do not.
Okay.
One of them does.
Spoiler alert. Sorry.
One of them
alert.
does in a way. The other one does not. We will
Win
say
some,
that.
lose some.
That's
like
what's up.
life.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And then my pilot is about my family, which I come from a blended family. My stepfather is white. My mom obviously is Black, and just kind of how I have stepbrothers and stepsisters, my brother, and how we just all kind of, learned how to navigate that.
Yes.
Oh, I want to talk about this.
We do want to talk about that.
So this has been a crazy year. Pandemic, we've already talked about that.
Mhm.
But in terms of what's happening socially and politically in this
Mm-hmm.
country, this has been charged. And Black Lives Matter is a huge part of this,
Mhm,
the
mhm.
continued racial unrest. So I'm wondering, as on your resume, you call yourself African American.
I do.
Right? And is that what you prefer to say? Is that feel like
I'm African American, Black. I'm fine.
So, but I'm just wondering what it's been like for you as an African American woman in the industry. Has that been an issue? Has it been an opportunity? Are things changing?
Things really haven't changed much for me personally,
Mhm.
but I know I've seen a lot of change across the industry. The Emmys this year, there's a record number of African American nominees.
I
which
just
is-
got goosebumps. I do that at
Yeah.
least once a podcast,
Yeah.
but that was my moment right
Yeah.
there.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's
and well
amazing.
deserved.
And exactly. It's not like
so
it's
well
just
deserved.
being handed.
No, not at all. Finally.
Yeah.
And the producers, we have, several women who are powerhouses in
Mhm.
this area. Shonda Rhimes and Ava DuVernay. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah,
what those
and
women are doing.
directors are coming up, female
Yeah.
directors. I just think that this year and the death of George Floyd, I think it really, being that we were in a pandemic, we could not go anywhere. Everybody was forced to sit and watch this and everything that was happening. You couldn't escape it, right? You couldn't, there were no sports to go watch. There was no, you can't go shopping. And I think that both the Black community and the white community were able to sit and be like, whoa, this really is happening.
Yeah, I can tell you I educated myself a whole lot during that time period. I'm a big fan of documentaries. And James Baldwin's documentary just totally blew my mind. It made me want to read everything he's ever written and listen to every speech he's ever told. And listening to podcasts and whatnot, and just really coming to face with it. And in fact, during that time period, I was not working here. I went and got a job at the Freeman down in Deep Ellum. And it was very interesting because when the riots were happening on Main Street, it was like everybody from the club, which the Freeman is a Cajun restaurant in downtown Dallas in Deep Ellum. They have live music every night. They had live music during the pandemic.
Really?
But once those riots started happening, it was this unity. It was just like this peace, and everybody kind of stood together in alliance, Black people, white people, musicians, and just knew that they're going to do stuff. They're going to go but they're good. We're good.
Yeah.
They didn't mess with us. They kind of just marched right on by and kind of gave a nod from time to time. But I felt it being more in that culture in Dallas than I ever have been. And so I learned a lot.
Yeah. I think there's more solidarity now. I think there's more grace and understanding, by everybody, you know. Yeah. So, but I do think I see it changing. And I will say that I think this might be an unpopular opinion, but some is an overcorrection in some areas. I see a lot of my friends who are white who aren't working because a lot of the work is going to ethnic actors, which again, it's great, but to view the world as it really is, it includes all of us. So it can't just be.
Well, it's like the stock market. There are going to be times when it just has to self-correct.
Yeah.
And we just have to roll with that and know that things will change.
Exactly.
Or create our own work.
Or create our own work. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow. So before Tiffany said, do you have any advice? So if looking at your life, which is still very young compared to someone like me.
Youth on her side.
Do you have words of advice or guidance or grace that you would share with anybody about this? Because this is a crazy profession we're talking about.
It is. Your mental health is so important in this space. Like you can't connect your value with how much you're working or how much you're not working.
No kidding.
This is such an ebbs and flows, and they say all the time, feast or famine. Like there was a year when I was working my butt off. Like I was just like, I just was high on my horse. I was like, oh, this is it. I am on my way.
I will never go down from here.
And then the next year I was like, oh gosh, what am I going to do with myself? I was like, and you just have to have something else to fall back on. Not necessarily, I won't say a plan B, but just you have to have a life outside of acting. I'm married. I like my husband most of the time. No, all the time.
We can edit that out.
Yes. No, keep that. No, I do.
Well, no, I'm going to keep it because then I can show it to my husband and he'll realize that I'm not the only one.
See? There's more of us. So, and then like I said, my aerobics and just my fitness and running.
That helps with your mental state too, right?
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when you're just having.
I keep thinking I'm going to work on my mental state by working out and exercising. I'm thinking about it.
You're thinking about it?
That's the first
That's the first step. The first
Yes.
step is thinking about
The
it.
thought has to be there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, that's my advice. Just, just don't attach your worth to how much you're working.
And one other thing that I wanted to mention, Nikki and I have worked with a local filmmaker, Big Mike legend.
Big Mike.
And that has provided some amazing experiences for me and some great footage for my demo reel. I still use footage from Steps of Faith. And I just wanted to put a plug in for working with and supporting local filmmakers.
Absolutely.
And I wonder if you could talk about that a little bit.
Mike is amazing. He is one of those directors that you want to work with as an actor because he understands the process. You know, he's not one of those directors that's like, it's got to be this way. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
Some can be very technical,
Yes,
but then some
yes.
can, work with the actor and bring your best performance. out.
Exactly. He's very collaborative. And I've actually done 2 projects with him. I did A Heart That Forgives, which I actually won Best Actress for in
Great work.
one of those
sparkle
little, things. Yeah,
fingers.
church stars, something or other. I forgot. And then Golden Voices, which I was actually the lead in.
Yes, I saw that.
that
Working
was
with
so-
Irma P. Hall.
Yes. Yes, Big Mama from Soul Food fame.
Yeah.
And she was amazing. And it was a great experience to be number 1 on a call sheet because it's just, there's so much.
Oh, that's so exciting.
I mean, it's so much because you're driving that story, right?
Yeah.
And you're bringing this character all the way to life. Like, okay, what is she going to wear? How does she feel here? And, you're just working with every department to make sure that the best story is being told. And, I just commend him for everything that he does and for his continued work
amazing.
and his continued perseverance
And his faith.
and his
faith that he's going to make it
Yes,
happen.
and he's
Yeah.
going to. And so we actually have been talking about doing a sequel to The Golden Voices. So we might see Sydney Nicole Jackson back in action here pretty
Fantastic.
soon.
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be great.
So, speaking of the future, that project aside,
Mhm.
where do you want to be in the next 5 years?
Where do I want to be next year?
Oh, next year,
yeah.
next 5. Yes.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
What are we doing tomorrow?
Yes. I honestly, I would love my dream career is Mariska Hargitay. I would love to be on a procedural for 21 years. The end. So in 5 years, I want to be
Check her
on Law and
out.
Order, Grey's Anatomy, anytime. Like I love TV. Film is great too, but I love.
What do you like about TV better than film? Or not better, but
I just like, I guess, the longevity of it. I know some people.
it's true.
Yeah, some people like
Yeah.
film where you can just get out of that character. You got 3 months, you can get out of that character, and you can move on to
Right.
another character, and stuff like that. And I haven't done a series for long term. I was on Queen of the South like 8 episodes, so it wasn't long enough to get tired of that character. So I can't say, will I be tired of a character after 5 seasons? Maybe, probably. I don't know. But give me 5 seasons.
Yeah, I played in college. I played Guy, which was written in as a guy, and then I got a reoccurring role, and we didn't change the name. I just ended up being Guy, and that's really the episodes. I was like, okay, this is cool. I'm just finding my character, and then show's over.
Yeah.
But also episodic stuff. I was a character for about a decade.
Yeah. So how did you feel about that?
I mean, I loved it.
Right.
I loved her. She still is now a part of my personality.
Right.
Don't you? Are
Yeah.
you? Yeah.
I mean, even
Every character that you play, right? Don't you feel that?
It's there somewhere.
Yeah.
They're in there somewhere.
Mhm.
You got to pull them out. But I had another point that I was going to make that had more to do with you than me.
Well, no, I wanted to know about that. Because that's interesting because you said it's been a decade. And
okay. So what
yeah.
I was going to say is my dream, much like yours, was I wanted to get a role on a soap opera so that I could afford to do live theater and do musical theater and end up being a Broadway star.
That's interesting. 'Cause
Yeah.
I worked on a film, and the person who played my daughter said, I love television because it's like a real job. I get up in the morning, I go to work, I go home in the evening.
Yeah.
It's not like wacky hours. I feel like a normal person.
It's
And
not
I
like this
think-
super intense project that you've only got so
Yeah,
much time
right,
to
that
do.
You can
and-
have a
yeah.
life. Yeah.
That does make sense. Yeah. So that's, and in the next 5 years, I would love to be a series regular on somebody's TV show.
All right,
All
everyone,
right,
send
there
the
you are.
vibes. Send the
Series
vibes.
regular on somebody's TV show. Don't matter whose, but somebody.
Somebody out there.
I do want to know a little bit about Queen of the South because that's
Sure.
something that affects us all. Talk to us about your experience on that show.
I mean, it was great. So that was the last second to last season that they shot here in Dallas. So it was season 2. And it was crazy. One of the producers was actually my director on the night shift in
Wow.
New Mexico.
That's awesome.
So when I went in for the callbacks, I was like, oh my gosh, I know you. He was like, oh, how are you? I mean, and it was only one episode of the night shift, and he remembered me. And so what I had heard from the casting director, who at the time was Beth Sepko, was that they were like, they're gonna put you on hold, but they're still looking. So where did they go to look? LA. And so they went to LA to look for this character, but they couldn't find her. in
There you
LA.
go.
So she was here in
There
Dallas.
you
So
go.
what I'm saying is that don't sleep on Dallas talent. Don't sleep on regional talent. We have talent here. You know,
Yeah.
you don't have to go to LA to always find the best of the best because, you know, you might miss out on some good folks here.
Planes fly both directions.
They
East to
really
west,
do.
The guy
West
behind the
Mhm.
camera, he's back there too. Yeah.
Yes.
He's good too.
Marcus Scott.
Yeah, Marcus Scott. Yeah. So I mean, it's and like Gail said, you know, the plane goes both ways. You know, they were looking for somebody in LA to fly them in to Dallas, where there are actors in Dallas who could do the same thing. So why can't you find somebody in Dallas to fly them out to LA to do a role that maybe only they think they can do?
We're just asking. We're
Just asking
saying it.
questions.
We're just saying. That's exactly what's up.
Just saying. Yeah.
So before we wrap, do you have anything else, Gail?
No, I think this was fantastic. It was
Thank
so
you so
great.
much for sharing your afternoon with us.
Thanks for having me.
And now I feel like I have this kinship with you because we both want to be on a series and then do whatever else we want to do.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fast friends.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what's up.
And we look
um,
forward to what comes in the future.
yes, we want to keep
Go
up
to
with you.
IMDb. And there, I'll have to ask. So there's this amazing monologue that you
Mm.
have on IMDb. And I don't know, was it an audition? Was it a monologue that you wrote?
Mm.
What is that?
My very, very good friend Calvin Walker, who is an amazing writer, wrote this monologue. And he does monologues all the time. He just writes them. And he was like, hey, can you workshop this for me? Can you just put it on tape? And I was like, sure. And I saw that one and it just resonated with me. And I just went on and did it. And I mean, I was very, very proud of it. And so
It's
I posted
fantastic.
it on IMDb.
Yeah. So it's a woman whose husband has died, and she is fighting to have the right to be one of the pallbearers
Mhm.
at his funeral. But for those of you who are wondering, I don't have anything to put on my demo reel or post on IMDb, look at this, because it's a great example of how you can create your own work or find a writer friend.
Yep.
who
Yeah,
can
I
write
might
for
need your
you
writer
and-
friends
yeah.
information because we got tons of students that may
It's
want to
really
get in on
dynamite.
that, or even
Yeah.
we could have a women in film workshop and put some things on its feed. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah, he's amazing. Calvin Walker, find him on social media, Facebook, Instagram,
There you
and
go.
he's
All the things.
all the things.
Yeah.
He's amazing. Amazing.
Well, thank you
Thank
so
you
much
guys
for joining us.
I had a good time. This is always so fun.
And we'll be right back to wrap up.
We should clap at the end. She was fantastic. I'm so excited to have her here.
We are so lucky. Look what we get to do. We get to pick out fabulous women. We get to sit them in a chair and we get to ask them anything that we want to know about them. And in hopes, of course, you guys can benefit from it too and be inspired and all the things.
Yeah. Do check out Nikki's page on the IMDb. and follow her on Instagram. She's an amazingly talented person who is doing it, and we all need to be inspired by that.
And I just can't wait to see the way her journey unfolds.
Yeah.
Especially her youth.
Yes, next generation.
She's got a lot.
SAG-AFTRA.
Yeah, she's got a lot of career left before her in her future.
And do you know, she might be a great person to come and do some workshops or sessions here at
Mediatek Institute. We've got to give a shout out because every month when we come to you from one of the amazing recording studios here at Mediatek Institute. Today we happen to be in Studio A. Studio A is famous for having Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys fame analog soundboard that we are staring at right now. It's makes me feel real fancy. We're in this like super high-tech recording studio. It's like we're in a spaceship. And we also are sitting right next to one of Elton John's Steinway pianos. That's right. If you haven't been to Mediatek, you should come and take a tour. And maybe Gail and I will come with you and show you all the fun, fancy things. We bring this up, though, because enrollment is happening right now for our Acting for Media program, Master Makeup Artistry, Digital Film, Animation. What am I forgetting?
Audio,
recording arts. That's the reason why we're here, is recording arts program. And the mobile app design program. Yeah. So if you know anybody that wants to get into this industry and they need a little guidance, they maybe don't want to go to a 4-year university, they just want 15 months of an education with these two and a bunch of other rock star instructors. Like the people that work here have been doing this in the industry for longer than we want to admit. So anyway, we want to thank Mediatek, who is our sponsor for this podcast, and to our fabulous co-producer, Mr. Marcus Scott. Yay! Thank you, Marcus. We sure appreciate you. So that's Mediatek. Sign up for a tour. Check out our website, www.mediatek.edu. And always be looking online, because even if you don't want to come to school here, we have a lot of free workshops that are open to filmmakers and sound engineers and actors and makeup artists. So keep us on your radar.
Do you want to mention Topaz?
Oh my gosh. Topaz is... we're about to end our submissions.
August 3rd, I think, is the deadline.
August 3rd. So this is the last podcast where we can implore you to go ahead and get those submissions turned in. And we have so many exciting things planned. I was able to sit in on the last committee meeting because it was at a women's workup, and people are getting really excited.
I've been watching movies. It's been amazing.
Yes, really, and I can't wait to have one in person. This will be my first time on the board being at an in-person Topaz Film Festival, because last year, of course, we know that everything was online. Yeah. So hope to see all of you there. Gail, what else do you have for us?
Just a couple of things. If you've not gotten on the WIFT, WIFTUS email list, email WIFT us.org, info@wiftus.org. There are so many wonderful offerings there. An offering this Thursday, which will be recorded. So if you're a member of Women in Film Dallas, you can get on that listserv and you can attend all these events for free. There is a workshop in fundraising beyond the crowd fundraising. So if you have a film and you're trying to raise money for it, show up or go back to the archival offerings and check out that offering. And also I have been attending Film Fatales, which is an amazing organization run by women out of New York. And you have to pay a little bit, like $10 for some of their offerings. Some are free. But man, last week it was women who are directing non-union feature-length films, primarily for TV, but it's their way into directing for TV.
Right.
And this workshop was amazing. It was informational. It was a seminar. But man, there's some great stuff there. And again, you can go into their archives and watch that stuff. So that's Film Fatales, L-E-S. So check them out too.
Awesome.
That's all I have.
That's all we have on Just Saying. We've wrapped episode 5.
Woo!
And we'll see you next month. Thanks for tuning in.
Have a good one.
If you like us, remember to like, subscribe, leave your comments below.